How is everyone doing? It's been a while. Robertson Global Freight Team family. It's been a while since I created the last training video, but I received a couple of calls, inquiries, and questions in regards to HubSpot, which we do understand is very important when it comes to keeping our training, keeping our documentation updated. So I think that it is important for me to go ahead on and to create a video here on HubSpot again. I want to say the last time I did HubSpot, it may have been kind of a combination of HubSpot, your module, and a couple other things. But today I'm going to focus strictly on HubSpot, and hopefully we all know how to access our modules. So let's say that we've made a phone call. We've made several phone calls. Let's just say we've written the notes down in our notepad or our notebook, and we are going to update our HubSpot at a later time. And now is that later time that you're going to update your HubSpot. You're going to update the documentation for the different notes that you've taken over the phone. So I don't have a specific customer in mind. I don't have a specific state in mind. Since I am in Texas, I'm going to use Texas, and I'm just going to pull a random customer so that, my field would be very similar to your field. So as I come to HubSpot, this is what my initial dashboard looks like. I am not sure what your dashboard looks like, but at the end of the day, I do know that we all have contacts and we have companies. And what we want to update is going to be our companies, because our contacts are going to be inside of our companies. So what I'm going to do is I've already gone to HubSpot.com, and it's brought me to the app.hubspot.com. I've logged in, and now I'm going to come over to the left corner right next to the HubSpot logo, and I'm going to click companies. Again, this is what I suggest you do, because if not, you're probably going to be in contacts. I'm going to select companies. Now, my company is going to be out of Texas. Again, I do not have a module. I am not calling on customers. So whatever I pick is going to be random. Therefore, it's probably going to be pretty close to what you're seeing. So I went to contacts. Contacts. I selected companies, and as I selected companies, I see that 116,000 records pull up. Of course, that number goes up periodically as we update companies to the modules, and as we update the modules, we update the CRM. So you've gone through your module. You've called 30 customers today. Let's say you call 50 customers today. And now you are going to come into HubSpot, and you're going to update those calls and those contacts, because, you're not going to remember, or you're going to lose that piece of paper sooner or later. You're not going to be able to find that notebook sooner or later. And you want to make sure you have your HubSpot, have your companies, your CRM in your companies inside your CRM up to date. So we've done that. HubSpot.com, we went to contacts, we went to companies. And this is what pulled up with companies. Now, 9 times out of 10, when you come in, your particular state is not going to show up. What's going to probably show up is probably the last set of the last module that has been updated. The last module here that has been updated is Delaware. I'm not going to pull Delaware. I'm going to pull Texas, because I'm in Texas. So in order to get this state region to show Texas, I am going to have to filter state region. So I'm going to come across the top. I see companies, create date, last activity date, lead status, and advanced filters. That's what I want. I want advanced filters. So I'm going to click advanced filters. When I click advanced filters, the little pop-up box pulls up on the side, and we're going to hit add filter. Right now, when we hit add filter, we're going to select state region. and we want it to contain exactly what is inside of state region. And we see that state regions have the capital first letter and the capital second letter of the initials of the abbreviation. The capital first letter is capitalized and the second letter is capitalized in the abbreviation of the state. So it's going to contain exactly. We're going to come down, and whatever your state abbreviation is, again, you want the capital first letter and the capital second letter. For Texas, I am going to do capital T, capital X. As I select capital T and capital X, now I am going to come in, capital T, capital X, and hit enter. When I select enter, now I am going to find all of the states in Texas. All of the companies in Texas. To keep it real simple, I am going to use the very first company, and the very first company appears to be OM Enterprises. So I'm going to select OM Enterprises. That's the company that's in my module that I've made a phone call to, and I am going to select OM Enterprises. Now that I've selected OM Enterprises, the first thing I want to do is see if the email is already in here of the contact person of OM. It says keep track of your email activity in your CRM, connect your email account. That's going to be a whole nother step. So I am not going to add it there. If I come to emails, create email. Well, actually, it looks like creating an email is asking me to create an email so that I'd be able to send emails from inside of HubSpot, and I don't want to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into create note, and I'm going to add John Doe at om.com, and his name is John. His last name is Doe. So in my notes, I know that my email contact is John Doe. In your modules, you probably already have the email in your module. If it's the same email, keep it. If it's a different email, add it. And if there are other emails that need to be added, for instance, it could be Mary Wignum at om.com. First name is Mary, last name is Wignum. So now I have updated the email address of the guys that I need to contact. And as you can see, these email addresses pop up in your notes. But I also want to add in my notes, I'm going to create a new note. And in the new note, Mary answered the phone. Mary answered. She had to leave quickly because son was sick. She said, call back Wednesday. You asked what time on Wednesday, and she said around 10:30 a.m. So I'm going to save that note because Mary said call her back. That was another note that we had to add because Mary said call her back. Now we've got the email address. We've got Mary said call her back. Oh, let's go to task. Create task. Let's say to do priority is medium queue. Now we're not going to create a queue. That could get too difficult, but we're going to say in 3 business days. We're going to say, let's say in 3 business days. Because this is a random date. The date comes up Friday, but we really want to call back Wednesday. But just to give you an idea of in the queue, in 3 business days on Friday, follow up with John. So you're going to talk to Mary on Wednesday. You're going to call John on Friday, and we're going to set a time to it. We're going to call him at 9:45 a.m. Let's see here. Associated with one record. We don't want that to repeat. And then the question is, why is this not saving? Or why is it not giving me an opportunity to save? Enter task associated with OM. It's associated with OM. And let's see here. So this is probably one of the kind of problems you guys will probably run up on when you create a task, and for some reason it is not allowing me to create a task. So that's good information for me to know. So now I can go in and make a call into HubSpot and to find out why we're not able to, we don't have a task because the task doesn't have a name. Call John. Follow up with John. Create task. So now we know you have to create the title of the task and then add the information to the description of the task, then create task. We can also look in here. We don't want to make phone calls. We don't have access to making phone calls. Schedule a meeting with the contact from this record. I'm not going to suggest scheduling meetings. Activity, keep track of your meeting. I would say keep track of your meeting in your notes initially. I'm not too certain on how creating the meetings inside of the CRM will work, especially if we set up meetings inside of Teams. So kind of try meetings at your own risk. Let me know how that works out for you. Activity, you don't necessarily have to worry about activity. So the main thing we need to worry about here is creating a note and finding your state that your module is in. So if you have any questions in regards to how to find your state, again, you just come over to contacts, go to companies, and you're going to do an advanced filter. We are in Delaware. We want to go to Texas. So we're going to select state region because the title of that column is state region. It's going to be exactly the same. I'm going to type the capital abbreviations for the first and last letter. I'm going to hit enter, and that's how I'm going to get Texas as my state region. If I want Maine, I think Maine is ME. I don't have any Maines in. Let's say Florida, type in FL, hit enter, and we get all Florida. Again, all the modules are uploaded here. Please do not go in and try to take someone's customer that's in another state. Please read the methods and procedures and the rules of engagement. We will stick very closely to those rules of engagement. I'm not going to beat that as a dead horse. I just want you to take a look at the rules of engagement. But we can find companies, we can filter our companies, and we can create notes. That's how we will do it inside of the CRM. I hope that works, and I hope that works for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.